Hey there, everybody. Whoever. I just want to do a quick video. A lot of people probably won't watch it, but this is for my own personal edification, just to get it down. And let's see, today's April the 5th, Thursday. And yesterday, a news story came out. A lot of people are talking about it. It's a bill being proposed here in California, a bill authored by Barbara Boxer, would prevent any Americans who owe back taxes from traveling outside of the U.S. It's one step closer to becoming law. Senate Bill 1813 was introduced back in November by Barbara Boxer, Democrat, Los Angeles, to reauthorize federal aid, highway, and highway safety construction programs, and for other purposes. And for other purposes, they always put that in there, and that's the real kicker right there. So what's going on here? And then you have coming out that the Homeland Security is buying 450 million bullets, and that's more bullets they need to kill every one of us. And they're like hollow point, real badass bullets. They're not like target practice bullets. And then you have today they came out and said they're buying a bunch of like roadside checkpoint booths, like little security offices that they can set up. So what's going to happen here? What I've told people, and I tell this to everyone I meet, and a lot of people don't believe me. They think I'm a kook. But as a U.S. citizen, all these billions of dollars, trillions of dollars of bailouts and everything, the United States doesn't have to pay that money back, because they're not. You and I do, the U.S. citizen. We're on the hook for it. We said, okay, yeah, we'll pay it, and we can't question the debt by law. So we're the security. We're the surety for the securities of everything, all the money or credit they're getting from the International Monetary Fund, World Bank, and which is a privately run banking cartel. They're like the when the United States went bankrupt in 1913. They're like going to a loan shark. Very high interest rates. I mean, we don't even know what the interest rates we're paying, but they set up this whole thing. Now, the Internal Revenue Service is the collection agency for this private International Monetary Fund, and it's my belief that Homeland Security was set up, and the word security, remember, you're the surety for the securities that are floating around out there on the international stock market, the bonds and all these things. We're on the hook for that. We have to pay it, and they're going to get it. Okay, they want their money. And I think Homeland Security was set up as kind of a, they go to the IMF and go, hey man, we need more money. And they're saying, yeah, but you guys are tapped out, and there's really not much I can do for you. And they go, here's what we're going to do. We got all this money. They know how much money is floating around out here and how much money everybody has. They go, yeah, but how are you going to get it from them? Well, we're going to set up Homeland Security, and we're going to set up checkpoints on the roads. We're going to raise taxes, and we're just going to start locking people up and issue prison bonds and give some more credit that way. And that's what's going to happen. I hope I can explain that so it's understandable. But that's what's happening. The U.S. citizen owes the money that's being used for the wars and everything. And they've already have a system of, I mean, there's more people in prison in this country than any other country in the world, I think, combined. And the reason for that is when they put someone in prison, they issue bonds for the amount, like murder goes for $4 million. They're going to issue a $4 million bond. Have the guy sign it. Have you ever been to jail? I've been a few times. And they always, I mean, I've never been to prison, but, just county for small stuff, contempt of court, what have you. And you always hear these guys that are going into court with you that are looking at some heavy time, for bullshit. This guy, last time I was down there. This guy, he got into a fight, and they have a 3-strike law. So you get a couple felonies, and the next one, you're totally fucked for the rest of your life. It's just insanity. And they're always talking like, yeah, I signed for 10 years, you know, and they have you put your thumbprint on the bond, and then they take that bond, because what they're doing is it's a default judgment basically, and because it's international maritime admiralty law, and they write a check, and if you don't go in there in honor and say, yes, I'll cover the check, you say, they ask you, do you understand the charge? You go, yeah, I understand, I guess, you know. They're not asking you, do you speak English? They're asking you, are you going to pay this bill for us? Yeah. All right. Are you guilty or not guilty? Are you going to pay or you're not going to pay? Oh, I'm not guilty. You're in dishonor and you're fucked. There's no way out. So you go to a jury trial, but they win 98% of the time. It's a rigged game. This is very serious stuff. What I would do and what I have done is, because we are the executors over our straw man account, basically your corporation, you signed it over to another corporation called the United States to administer it for you. You can take it back and you know, I don't know coming down, you know, if they come around and start rounding people up, if it's going to help us, but I do know this: they won't be able to file any bonds on your straw man account if you have a UCC1 financing statement showing that you have a lien, a big ass $1 billion lien against your strawman corporation. You can do that. Go to stopthepirates.blogspot.com. I'm literally, you know, just imploring people, hey man, you got to do this. I'm not talking about being a sovereign citizen and, you know, revoking all your licenses and everything. A lot of people do that, and I feel, you know, God bless you, go ahead. But there's something called the secured party creditor, and you want to secure your strawman trust account, put a lien against it, and then you just have to tell everybody that that's what you're doing, and now you're acting as a creditor, and you send out all your affidavits to the pertinent people in the government who need to know. Keep copies of it and track of it, because if they try to put you in prison, they try to write a bond on your strawman account, it won't work. That's our defense. That's the only defense I see out there, because Homeland Security is set up to extract the wealth of the American people. The camps are built. I mean, no, it's ambiguous. Everybody tells you the camps are being built and they're being staffed. You see it on the internet every day. They are going to lock you up. I mean, they're going to lock you up for not paying your taxes. How do they do that? It's easy. Just like if you ever had to pay child support and you go to court and you miss a few payments, and the judge tells you, all right, you got to make your payments, you know, and so you miss a payment, and they charge you for contempt of court because you disobeyed a judge's order or whatever. It's messed up, and they're going to do that with the tax situation too, which is they're just collecting. The IMF wants their money, and this is how they're going to collect it, through Homeland Security and FEMA and all that stuff. That's what they're set up for, is to extract the money. And they have systems now that, I mean, if you get pulled over by a cop and you hand them your, they always say, give me your ID. Watch every time, give me your ID. Because when you hand that piece of plastic card to them with your picture on it, it's not you, it's your corporation. As soon as you hand it to them, you're contracting with their corporation. And they call it in, and as soon as they run your number, your slave number, they immediately start doing the calculations of how much they can put on your bond. You know, if you're getting arrested for, you know, having some marijuana or whatever, what have you, they immediately start calculating the paperwork, and it's all in the computer. It's all computerized system. QSIP and AutoTRIS. I'm going to go into that now, but so things are starting to happen a lot quicker than I thought, and the See, the real, it's hard to get all this out, but the real big kicker too is the Obamacare. Now the enforcers for that is the Internal Revenue Service with guns. So this International Monetary Fund, which again is privately owned, their collection agency is the Internal Revenue Service, and they have guns because they want their money, and they'll come with guns to get it. You're not living in a free country. The United States is not a country; it's a corporation, and we've been duped into signing on as the sureties for the securities of this predatory corporation. It goes against everything you've learned if you're just like hearing this for the first time. With the Obamacare too, you're going to be I'll tell you this right now: the Supreme Court. It's not an Article 3 court. It's bullshit. It's all a scam. They're not gonna overturn the law because they need it, because the corporation won't be able to function. They've already gone to their creditors and said, hey, we're going to set this up, this healthcare thing, so we can borrow more money, so we can go to more wars, and that was part of the collateral deal that was set up to borrow all the money from the International Monetary Fund. So, and once you don't pay your however much it's going to cost to buy your health care, the Internal Revenue Service is going to crack down on you, and they'll set up the checkpoints. They'll pull you in. First they'll fine you, they'll levy you, and then it's coming out of your paycheck, and then you're going to have to make payments. When you miss the payments, then you got to go to court, and you're in contempt, and then you're in prison. And that's what's happening. That's how they're going to do it. Anyway, that's just my little take on it. It's starting to get real dicey out here, and I'm going to have to put my gas mask on because it's going to start getting stinky. Anyway, we're coming into a big storm, so put on your rain hat. That's all. Stopthepirates.blogspot.com. Thanks.